Okay, right. Everyone can unmute now. We're live.
Yay.
Okay. Okay, so good afternoon or good morning or good evening, wherever you may be. Welcome to another one of the wacky world of Twitter things here. We've got a well, this could be an interesting one today. You know, we've done so thus far. We have done Pastor Greg Locke, Kevin Sorbo, and a transformed wife. This week we are taking a look at one Marjorie Taylor Greene. This could be an interesting one, I think, guys. But first, I should introduce the panel. We've got Sini, so I think it's the first time you've been on my channel.
Yep.
Jenny. We've got Ricardo, and we've got Hops, and we should have 2 or 3 more joining in a bit as well. So just put this on quickly. Say a quick thank you to my patrons. Gary Priestley, PJ Smith, and Dog. Always appreciate the support. So just start off then. And this.
I'll start off. The people we're waiting for, are they consulting their attorneys before they get online with you?
I don't have no idea.
I have no attorney, so I guess no.
I couldn't afford an attorney if I.
I think I would imagine we're the least of her problems right now, to be honest. But
well, that's a notion between me and her, so she can swim for it if she'd want to.
Of course, what we we could be shot out of a blast and the hashtag Death Star of David, of course, but you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's weird. Notice. I mean, I'll just give some initial thoughts on this crazy woman. People, I mean, she's obviously, this is an elected representative here in the state of Georgia. You know, somehow. I mean, I don't get this. How does anyone like this get put up as a blooming candidate by a major political party?
Well, you run in the most conservative red district in the state of Georgia.
No, that probably helps.
It's easy.
Well, and it is, after all, it is the Republican Party.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, nothing shocks me when it comes to them at this point.
No, they can't even. I'm just shocked at how in step they are with a guy who's no longer president, has never had any credibility, and everything he says makes him worse and worse and worse. And they're still giving him blowjobs. You know, it's probably one of the biggest ones.
I mean, I've gone back. I've only gone back a few days because I've seen this woman seems to be really, really active on Twitter, and there's a lot of batshit crazy in there. I don't know if necessarily I found like the real creme de la creme of her craziness and what I've found, but because of course, you know, I haven't seen much along the lines of the QAnon stuff or anything. But because obviously that's well known, she's a big believer in that nonsense. But I really
think being a follower of QAnon should just automatically be grounds for a psychiatric evaluation. But then again, I think I have half a brain left. So
I mean, you'd think being a believer in QAnon that ought to at least, you know, that's a good reason for it. There has to be some sort of psychiatric test for being able to run for office. In my
Yeah, it's.
Yeah,
I mean, at the
one
very
thing that
least, we should have an IQ test to run for public office. It's a pity that we don't. That would have put an end to Trump.
No,
you could wish for that. You could also wish that there was a possibility of sanctioning people or limit their access to social media if they don't pass the stupidity test. However, first you would need to define stupidity somehow psychologically or psychiatrically, and I think that's pretty difficult. I will, however, say, looking at people who believe in QAnon and who worship President Trump and how they do it contrary to all facts, I think they have a stint of the same narcissism that flat earthers have, that they really believe themselves that they are more clever than any other politician and any other scientist that go against what the cult and QAnon says.
That's just some malignant narcissism at its finest.
There's some serious Dunning-Kruger going on here.
Uh-huh.
I mean, obviously, like with flat earthers. I mean, I've heard flat earthers say that people like Albert Einstein were idiots that didn't know what they were talking about. So that is the sort of level of delusion you're dealing with, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's like, and you could find parallels within the Trump cult and QAnon as well. I mean, they don't
Aren't
trust
they intertwined?
doctors.
Isn't part of the QAnon cult that Trump is fighting against some satanic pedophile ring that disguised itself as the Democratic Party? Like,
QAnon was established based on a lie that was when Hillary was running, which is known as Pizzagate. That there is a cabal of Democrats.
Sorry.
In the dark rooms, in the secret rooms, running a worldwide pedophile ring of the basement of this pizza parlor, which turns out to not even have a basement.
Yeah, didn't some wacko barge in there with a gun?
Yeah.
Yes, there was.
So guns are uncommon in this godforsaken country.
So QAnon got started, and it became a natural magnet for all the fringe elements of the Trump followers, of the Rush Limbaugh followers, of the Alex Jones followers.
Yeah, easy for you to say.
Hey, Ring.
Hey, Ring.
And it's just become this floodgate of insanity that there are people who are just too willfully ignorant to be able to walk away from.
But
there's people who do walk away from it, and they say that it's just a big freaking cult. Using the clinical.
I think you've got to remember something about QAnon, that it originated on 4chan.
Yeah,
that should be red flag.
Why does that not tell everybody what they need to know?
And that's where QAnon established itself too.
Jesus.
All right, so right now I've gone back to February the 6th here, so we'll start there. I mean,
I'm on February 3rd.
Oh yeah, I've gone that. See, I think we can get
about Ilhan Omar marrying her brother.
Oh, in that case, I'm going back further then.
Yeah, the tweet is, you provided aid and comfort to enemies of the American people that rioted violently in your state by sharing MFF bail bond links. And by the way, marrying your brother is illegal in Minnesota. This was her retweeting Representative Omar's statement on Republican efforts to whitewash Marjorie Taylor Greene's incitement of violence. Where did she get that Representative Omar married her brother? That's what I'd like to know. From what corner of the depths of her ass did she pull that?
That is a
probably from his last name and her own bigotry.
Yeah.
Well, the bigotry thing, that just goes without saying. It's just like, really?
Okay, let me share my screen then. gonna have to skip over some of this crazy in this because there's a lot. There we are. I think it should be up now.
Well,
So
Found it.
Virtually every
Oh my
tweet she has
goodness.
something completely off the wall.
yeah.
Today she had a tweet where she said was basically offering that standardized lie that if Democrats get into office, they'll destroy the budget. When in the reality, when that you look at the numbers of the last 100 years, and it's every Republican administration that's come in has destroyed the economy, and the Democrats clean it up.
Well, that challenges the alternative facts now, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, what would you call filing articles of impeachment on Joe Biden the day he takes office, if not providing aid and comfort to the enemies of the American people that rioted violently at the Capitol?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would just call it being a completely batshit insane, childish, petty cunt, but that's just my opinion.
So how do you really feel?
Also,
what's the condensed version?
Yeah.
Also, Jeff, do you want to know how she got elected? Or how someone that extreme managed to, even run under a major party? Gerrymandering.
Okay.
Because when you gerrymander a districts to favor specific parties, the more extreme candidate will win the primary, which means each district will become more extreme over time.
Makes good sense.
And people should know that the county she's from kind of wraps itself around it at the Atlanta area, which is a known blue section of Georgia. That's where all the blue votes come from. But it's such a way that she's able to.
Fingers crossed, we're actually going to be joined from someone who lives in Georgia a little later, hopefully. So,
Slim's
okay.
Slim's in the chat.
Yeah. Hi, Slim. See my friend Wade in the chat as well, actually. It's been a while since we chatted. Right, let's get back to... okay, this is where, the shots at AOC are about to start here. Okay, this is something she's actually retweeted by this Sebastian, whoever the fuck this is. She lied about where she grew up. She lied about where she was on January 6th. She lied about being anti. AOC will lie about anything. So this isn't. This is something she's retweeting, by the way. So, any thoughts on that? Because they seem to all have been going after AOC like crazy in the.
Yeah. Well, I mean, AOC is one of the most progressive Democrats in the House.
Yeah, so of course they would go after her.
Also, she's a woman of color.
Well, I mean,
she's definitely any Republican basically shits their pants at the mere mention of her. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's just like tailor made to trigger like conservatives in America, really. Young, actually, let's be honest, quite attractive, intelligent woman from a minority background who worked out from being like a bartender a couple of years ago or whatever, and is outspoken and progressive. It's just the sort of thing that is every trigger imaginable to these people that they feel threatened by.
And let's not forget.
Well, smart women in general scare the shit out of Republicans.
Yeah. Sir, Ricardo, you were going to say something?
Yeah, let's not forget that Sebastian Gorka was the assistant to Trump, so she's kind of making a political favor there.
Oh yeah, isn't that guy who was a janitor?
Well, then there at least would be one of his assistants that had a proper job and wasn't. I mean,
and I apologize to all the janitors out there.
Okay, we got She seems like some support she's got here. Unreal,
Yeah.
$175,000. Thank you to every single America First patriot who donated to my congressional seat from the protect my seat from the Democrat mob. They're attacking me because I'm one of you. We will not back down. We will never give up. Somewhere to send a message of support here. I'm just saying. I'm not saying you should, but
I'm not.
It's like if Unirock was elected to Congress.
Oh,
I may have misread that.
We don't mention that fucking idiot on this channel, by the way.
I may have misread that because all I read was "I am a terrorist sympathizer" over and over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, writing America First in a context where it's supposed to be perceived as something positive is really a red flag, isn't it?
Well,
yeah.
America First Patriot.
Actually,
you mean like the people who stormed the Capitol?
It's such a red flag that even some Stalinists would be backing off, I think.
Yeah, I think even tankies wouldn't get on board with that.
Oh yeah, we call them tankies.
Yeah, sorry, that's seems to be okay. Seems to be more of the same. So we see more of the thanks for the and we get the first picture of one of her masks.
Oh God!
Oh.
Don't tell me it's that ridiculous end abortion. Yep,
it says end abortion. Yeah.
What does it say? End
abortion.
Yeah. Oh.
Here's a brilliant idea. You want to end abortion? Make birth control more accessible.
Yeah. Well, see, but her entire platform, like her being in power, basically relies on having a constantly breeding undereducated middle, constituency.
Yeah.
I mean, look at how Mitch McConnell's stayed in power all these years.
Ain't that the truth?
I mean,
there's actually talk that his election might have actually been rigged. But let's not get off topic.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's
it is suspicious when you look at those numbers. I give you that, but I wouldn't know enough about the American election system to say anything.
Oh, someone in the chat says Unirock would have been Trump's chief bottom wiper or diaper changer if Trump was caught short.
Yeah, I thought he wiped Carl Curtis's ass, but anyway, that's
well, he's got two hands. He's got two hands. Maybe he's ambidextrous. Yeah. We don't know.
Well, no. Let's not talk about that fucking dickhead Unirock on this channel. So,
since you brought up Unirock though, and his current job, does Donald Trump use anal bleach?
Oh God! Well, I was actually having that conversation with somebody a few months ago.
It's Busy can provably demonstrate that I do not wipe Donald Trump's ass.
Oh God! Busy, stop smoking crack.
Of course, I used bleach there. That's how I cured my COVID.
I think
it was a bleach enema. It was a Lysol enema.
It was the best bleach because I use the best bleach in the world.
Nobody uses better bleach than me. Exactly. Where the fuck is Alec Baldwin when we need him? That would be perfect.
It's unbelievable.
Spilled my beer.
Well,
I'm having Brussels champagne, by the way.
Okay. Oh, nice. I got one here. Okay, here we go. I woke up early this morning, literally laughing, thinking about what a bunch of morons Democrats are for giving someone like me free time. In this Democrat tyrannical government, conservative Republicans have no say on committees anyway. This is going to be fun.
So basically,
it's fun. That sounds like an implied threat.
Basically, Representative Greene, you're saying that you're fine sponging off the taxpayer money of your constituency literally doing nothing.
That's true.
I don't know. I think she's just going to use all that extra free time to spew more QAnon bullshit and possibly even incite more violence. Because, you know, she's a little fucking. She could be the fucking candy striper of the Trump era.
I think she would do that anyway. And now she does not have.
But now she's more time to do it.
Yeah, but now she doesn't have the inside information that the working committees would have given her about. Yeah, well, whatever.
Well,
I think it's still best that she isn't on the committees, though.
Pulling shit out of her ass?
What's that again?
Do we really think that would stop her from pulling shit out of her ass? I mean, for God's sake, she thinks Representative Omar married her brother.
Or, you know, the Death Star of David.
Yeah. Do you know what? I actually realised just before I went live, I missed a golden opportunity with the thumbnail for that, and I was like, "Why did I not think about that?"
Yeah.
To be fair, she did not invent the Jewish space lasers. She was quoting QAnon.
Oh, there's a video saying she does not believe what she said. Really?
No, she didn't.
I
she didn't believe it, or she
didn't invent the concept.
All that Jenny said was she didn't come up with it, right?
Yeah. She's just repeating some other nonsense.
Yeah.
So, you know, she tweeted, "Save America, stop socialism." So here's the question: When have socialists ever stormed the Capitol?
It's the go-to.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know. I'm just being an ass.
Yeah. I mean, it's the go-to boogeyman of the right. I remember when on election day, I was
like, okay, if you're so anti-socialism,
let Hops finish. Sorry. Hops finish.
On election day, I was on the Bin Pod podcast, and we had a Trump supporter as a guest, and the first thing he said basically was that if you had Medicare for all, it would be socialism. So basically, it was just insane. The socialism boogeyman came up as one of the very first thing in the absolute diatribe and gish gallop that this guy was giving us. And the question I asked him was if he really thought that Britain was a socialist society because they had free healthcare.
Yeah,
it's just far out. It's so far out. It's not
even when we had most of our industries nationalised, we'd never been a socialist country.
Nope.
I like how he specifies that if Medicare for all is socialism, but the reality is Medicare for any is socialism.
So are 90% of our government-funded programs. I mean, Social Security. Come on now, the word "social's" in there.
Highway systems, sewage systems.
Like, if you're so against socialism, why are you telling everybody to keep their hands off your Social Security? I thought you were against that. Why'd you accept the stimulus check?
The military, the police.
Exactly. Public schools.
Oh, man.
Everybody, Greene is pushing so hard. Open up the schools. Open up the schools. Oh, aren't public schools technically socialist? Make up your mind, wacko.
What's this? I've received tens of thousands of calls, emails, social media messages, and letters of encouragement from Americans all over the country, asking me to push forward with my Joe Biden articles of impeachment. Let's make it happen.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna reread it because it sounds like it could have easily come from someone else's mouth. I've received thousands of calls, emails, social media messages, and letters of encouragement from Americans, beautiful Americans.
Trump impersonation is like dead on and unnervingly good. Because if not, allow me to be the first. I love it and I hate it at the same time.
You should listen to Ring's Kent Hovind impersonation then.
Oh no, I don't know who that is, but I feel like I'd love it anyway.
Yeah. Well, lucky you for not knowing who Kent Hovind is.
Yeah,
I know who Ken Ham is. That's bad enough.
Same sort of thing.
I actually got blocked by Ken Ham before my uncle died, even. So, and I never even interacted with the guy.
Yeah, but one speaks Australian.
That's
and he looks like a chimp.
Okay, I'll try not to play any of the videos she's posted. Okay, so she's reposted something from Breitbart here. So Michael Ice, formerly with the Hillary Clinton's campaign, who also hired Fusion GPS and paid Christopher Steele for the dossier of lies, which was used as a source of a Trump-Russia collusion conspiracy hoax, is now claiming that voting machines give faulty results. Wow, so she's saying like certain conspiracy theories are a hoax. Interesting.
Yeah, which is funny. Like, isn't the whole thing? It's like you thought, billions of ballots, but only the presidential section of the ballot was fraudulent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. If they've been like if they'd overwhelmingly taken the House and the Senate as well, there might have been some. It might be a little bit more believable to shout about this, but
yeah, like if Republicans were all losing seats, and it was just consistently Democrats taking supermajority after supermajority, that may be. It still wouldn't be true, I'm sure, but it might be a little more understandable why someone would believe that. But
yeah, if you're gonna try to steal an election, why would you steal this 51% one? That's 67, 80.
Right. This one.
Exactly.
This one.
Oh, I just had
this
an
one.
Go big or go home.
This one here, I've got to read this one out.
Okay.
Our Democrat-controlled tyrannical government will spend $438 million of your tax dollars to build a border wall around the capital and bring in the National Guard to protect themselves, but won't build you a wall or give you the energy when domestic terrorists, Antifa, Black Lives Matter attack you. Fuck her. Fuck you. Fuck you. And fuck you.
Was for Trump's racist anti-Mexican bullshit.
Jeff, can you full screen me?
Give me a second.
And I'll say it in British too. Okay.
And sorry, can I just also say, I
mean, I can just say it in American, and I'll just do one hand because I gotta use the other hand for my phone.
There you go.
I got little tiny Donald Trump hands, but I think I can do the job.
I'll just say, fuck you and fuck anyone who looks like you forever.
Fuck you and the Jewish space laser you rode in on.
Can I do one as well?
Indeed.
Good. Mine is a bit special, and so it's a bit old-fashioned. It has a small wheel. So
okay.
Oh, come on, get with the times. You have to get the power button.
There you go. No. I like it old school. So no, hit down it goes again.
Well, at least your arms are getting a workout.
Yeah. There you go.
Don't argue with him. They invented the windmill.
Also, one, that wasn't a wall, it was a fence. Two,
didn't it get blown over?
And two,
that's kind of what happens when a fucking terrorist attack takes place.
Yeah, I mean, there might not have been the need to build a great big wall and spend like millions on bringing in the National Guard into Washington if Donald Trump's supporters hadn't tried to fucking storm the Capitol. Just saying.
And before any of the right wing is ever allowed to use the word tyranny or tyrannical again, they have to provide a definition so they show that they actually know what they're saying. Because nothing that has gone on in this country on either side has been tyrannical.
I mean, I'd even go so far as to say we should make sure they know how to spell it.
Morons.
I'm not quite sure what the date on that tweet. I don't know if it's the
February the 6th it was.
The 6th, okay, because on the day before, she had a video also tweeted, I think, on her other account, where she, or probably on this one, I don't know, where she said she had a lovely meeting in the White House about what's going to happen tomorrow. It's going to be awesome and things like that. I don't remember the whole speech, but she was. So, if there's a wall now being built, she's one of those that contributed for the wall to be there.
No.
We have some good old-fashioned transphobia now.
Yay!
Biological males do not belong in women's sports. Protect our girls. Get this done, Georgia.
How do we explain what hormone therapies do to these people? We probably can't. The words have too many syllables.
Yeah.
I won't even entertain her. She is so delusional, so uninformed, so willfully ignorant. It's a waste of my time.
Yeah.
Well, most LGBT community phobes are.
Yeah. Also love like the hidden misogyny in the fact that, well, not so hidden misogyny in the fact that it's always, MTF that's the problem.
And and besides, she's just upset that most trans women are better looking than she is.
Well, doesn't that set the bar kind of low?
Hell, I probably looked better than her, a week ago.
No, I'm saying like she's.
Ring. That's not fair though, Ring. You look fabulous a week ago.
That walked into my hotel. If we're going to talk about anybody being more attractive than her, that sets the bar too low. You gotta go upward potential there.
Okay, we got more of this. Thanks to the 22,000 America First Patriots represent all 50 supports. Save America, stop socialism, defeat the Democrats. So we're seeing a theme coming around here, aren't we?
I'll fix that last half. Save America, stop white supremacy.
Defeat QAnon.
Yeah, or defeat the terrorists.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you say defeat the terrorists, that kind of opens you up to a whole, but the Democrats are the terrorists.
Or defeat the Proud Boys.
Well, they're certainly standing back and standing by, so they might have put their guns down to drink beer with Kyle Rittenhouse.
I think we should be going to their rallies with signs that say "No more elected Nazis."
Oh yeah.
Let's just go to her rallies and hold up those signs.
No. Here's what we do. We go with signs that have the picture of Captain America punching a Nazi.
Ooh, I like the way you think.
Yeah. Or
or
the spoof that someone did where Captain America is punching the QAnon shaman.
Nice.
Okay.
You know what? Have you seen the? It was an Avengers knockoff, and a bunch of Democrats' heads were. I think it was like a game or something. Yeah. Something like that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. More going at like right now. At Rashida Tlaib was at home when the Capitol was being breached, suffering from COVID vaccine reaction. AOC was in the Cannon bathroom, frightened by the Capitol police who checked on her. She wants to defund now. Okay, girls, do an hour on Antifa/BLM terrorism.
Defund the police doesn't mean what you think it means.
It just means not militarizing the motherfuckers. There's no need for municipal cops to be walking around with a fucking bazooka and riot gear.
But then, what does the first bit about the reaction to the COVID vaccination, have anything to do with the second?
Well, we had to throw in some anti-vax in there just to really spice it up extra crazy.
Did Rashida Tlaib actually say anything about herself being in danger during the Capitol riots?
Not that I recall. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I have no
Let's
idea.
see. Live research. How? Let's see. So, let's see. She was not. Yeah, she was not. She was not. She didn't claim to be present, but she did say that she got death threats.
Yeah, well,
Which is believable. Very believable.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I could imagine that she did.
Yeah. One, she said, celebrated the Christchurch massacre. Another mentioned her son directly by name.
Mm.
Oh, Jesus.
So yeah, she. So basically, she was okay. So yeah, she was saying while she wasn't, present, she's like, I've received death threats before, and it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. Right. So what do we want to go with? Should we go with more? Should we go with? Let's go with a little more transphobic. We were getting some Christian shit thrown in this one. Okay. As well, lying to a child, teaching them, training them in gender lies is child abuse. Denying God's creation that He made us male and female in His image and causing a little one to stumble in this way is completely evil. Parenting is a great responsibility and gift. Don't do this.
As a motherfucker.
Oh.
You know what? I can salvage this.
Well, let's hear it.
Yeah. Lying to a child and teaching them, training them in fundamentalist lies is child abuse.
Yeah, that works. That's
okay. Now we're going to clear it up for real.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is actually very accurate with what you just did.
Yeah, I like that.
Her statement of, if we were actually doing that to children, yes, that would be child abuse. But that's not what we're doing with children. Children come to their parents and say, I am this or I am that. Parents don't train their children to be this or that. That's just not reality. It is a fear-monger tactic.
Yeah.
It is just a bunch of bullshit. Nobody should ever listen to it. Ever.
No, it's absolute nonsense.
No.
Like, right now, I mean, my daughter seems to be fine being a girl, but if she comes to me and says, Mom, I think I'm in the wrong body, I think I'm a boy, it's like, okay, so that's fine. You're my kid. It's my job to love you, not judge you. So how can we help you be more comfortable?
Okay. I'd like to continue. Her whole argument, if you listen to it as a whole, takes in science from about 1910, 1920, and does not move on beyond that. In the last 100 years, we have learned much more about gender, the biology of sexuality and gender, and have opinions that are not just opinions anymore, but are fact, are demonstrable results from treatment of transgender people. How their suicide rate, for example, goes from 40% down to 2% once they receive treatment. So none of these people, and this is happening with the state legislatures and the athletics question as well. The right wing has developed a set of lies that they have fashioned and detailed out in the UK, and they have their talking points, which sound perfectly reasonable to somebody who doesn't know about transgender issues, and they're coming here now, and they're trying to take us on. And we have to stand up as cis people. We're begging you to stand up, not just say I'm an ally, but do something about it. Show you're an ally. Go to a pride festival. Write your Congress people. Write your state legislators. Don't let them get away with these lies. Yeah. Just don't. You're destroying lives if you do.
So
I'm done.
Okay. one slight point of disagreement. She's not taking science from 100 years ago. She's what she's doing is she's pulling a Ken Ham. She's going, I have a book.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely getting. I'm looking at the side chat on my boyfriend's phone, and somebody actually brought up the point. There's people who are intersex. That's the thing. What Greene and a lot of other like TERFs and transphobes also don't take into consideration. It's not just XX and XY. It's not just male and female. It's a lot more nuanced than that. So,
or
Bible bangers.
Yeah, or gender fluid / non-binary people.
Do people in the chat know that there's actually a population of women, their XX chromosome, who are born without a vagina? Do you understand that things like this happens?
Yeah, people are mentioning in the chat there is talk of like different genitalia than just one or the other.
And for them to stand up there and exclude all these tens of millions of people from a normal life just because of some morality out of some bullshit book.
I was just gonna say, Dogs put something in the chat actually that we need to do some sort. I need to do some sort of batshittery chart for all these Twitter things. Who's top so far? Marjorie Taylor Greene, Kevin Sorbo, Greg Locke. It's Transhorn wife. I don't know. The trouble is, it's way too difficult to actually try and work out which one was more insane.
Hey, so maybe at the end of this one, we'll give everyone we've done so far, including MTG, a rating out of 10. And then going in the future, we'll end with a rating out of 10.
Yeah.
That sounds like I was actually thinking about that. That sounds like good.
Yeah. I might I was going to say, after last week's one, knowing that Transhorn wife's quite ill with cancer, I'm more inclined to cut her a bit of slack now. So, right. Where was I?
Have a vote in public chat. That's not a bad idea either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. It took 1 month for the Democrats to figure out they can't stop me. That I won't compromise Cave or be whipped into submission by anyone. Hey, don't worry. We're not going to kink shame you here, Marjorie. Don't worry. It's people over politicians in America first, and no matter what, they still can't stop me.
She's morality shaming and everything shaming my entire community, including myself. I will shame her as much as I fucking want.
Mm-hmm. I would say anybody with a brain should shame her, but especially anybody in the trans community, the gay community, any woman who's ever had an abortion. Hi.
I got to say, I think with all of the ones that I've gone through so far, I've not seen quite so many transphobic things, even out of fucking Greg Locke, as I've seen out of this woman.
Yeah. Another thing I was just thinking.
Women in particular, I've noticed that Republican women and J.K. Rowling are some of the most transphobic.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's really awful. I was just thinking about one thing. What if the people, she says, people before politicians and America first? What would happen if the people does not want America first? What if the people want to be good friends with the rest of the world and treat everyone as equals, no matter from which country they come?
So
isn't that what we're founded on?
I had to put that out when somebody mentioned JK. So.
I mean, America first. That's a dog whistle if there ever was one.
Sorry,
dog.
I think my ears are bleeding from that.
Yeah.
Can't you just do like America? Fuck yeah.
America.
Yeah.
America.
Oh boy, more America first shit.
It's awful. It's an old KKK slogan, isn't it?
It's
Well,
yeah,
actually,
I think
it was. I think it goes back to the American Nazi Party in the 1930s.
Oh, Jesus.
About
was
as
it?
bad, I'd say. Not any better by any stretch. Actually, I watched an interesting series on Netflix the last couple of days. It was called Hitler's Circle of... Oh, sorry. Jeff, am I demonetizing your channel now?
No, I'm not monetized anyway, Hop. So
yeah, okay. Anyway, I think I'll see if I can go a bit careful. Use the word that I used, the designation that I used with my pupils when I was studying, when I was teaching German. The Austrian painter, the Austrian painter's evil circle. It's on Netflix. It was actually quite good, I think.
I've got to just step out for 2 seconds and take painkillers, okay, guys?
Okay.
So,
cheers, man.
Yeah, you know what? I might actually just step out for a second myself.
Yeah.
I need one.
Okay, can I tell about the beer that I'm drinking then?
Okay.
Cool.
I mean, now that we are not talking about anything else while we are waiting for the others, this is local stuff. It's Limfjords Porter. So it's local to my area, and this one and yeah, who was it? I was on a stream a week ago or so, another of Scummer's streams, and we were discussing the graphics of the label, and there was someone on who really did not like it. But now I don't. Now I forget who that was. I'm afraid none of you were on anyway. But it's local to my area, and this is not the original Limfjords Porter. This is not the original stout. It is, however, one of many variations that they've made of it over the years. This one is with whiskey. It's matured in whiskey casks, and it's actually pretty scrumptious. So when you see me doodling in my little notebook here, it's because I've got a beer blog, I've got a beer channel. So interested in beers, come check out my channel. It's called Hopscotch. What are you having, Sinise?
Apothic Dark.
What's that again?
Apothic Dark. It's a California dark red blend. It's a lot drier than my first ever Apothic wine was Apothic Red. Listen, it's cheap and it tastes good. It's very hard combo to find in American wine. I used to sell wine for a living when I was married, so I'm a little bit of a.
Oh, it's wine.
I'm not a wine snob, but I like to think I have taste.
Okay.
Mama always told me if I pay more than $20 for a bottle of wine, I'm getting ripped off.
I, on the other hand, is very much a beer snob.
I think beer tastes like cat piss.
More beer for me, then.
Good for you. Drink your cat pee.
Oh, you like champagne, by the way?
Only mixed with orange juice or apple cider.
By the way, how do you know that if it tastes like cat piss? Have you ever tried drinking cat piss?
No. I just I came up with the grossest possible thing to describe how much I hate beer. Leave me alone.
Well,
everybody always wants to pick on me and go to that level.
Well,
anyway,
here's the thing: if you smelled cat piss, then you have an idea of what it might taste like because of how closely your sense of smell is connected with your sense of taste.
You know what? That's exactly it. Because when I lived with my mom, follow her on Twitter at SciSister if you want. Sometimes she's funny. The rest of the time she's a snarky bitch more than I am. We had this cat, and this was a female cat, but she used to just piss on everything. It was ridiculous. So
that's weird.
My downstairs neighbor here used to have a meth lab, so I'm well familiar with cat piss.
That's really more a Tomcat thing. Anyway, this is called.
I know. We attracted really weird animals. We don't know why the hell the cat was gender bending or whatever, but.
So this is actually called. Well, the official name is a geuze or geuze if you speak Flemish. It's called Brussels champagne also. So it could be mixed with fruit juice as well, and you might dig it. What's that again?
A mimosa.
Mimosa?
You never heard of a mimosa?
Not sure now.
A mimosa, a traditional mimosa is orange juice and champagne.
Uh-huh.
Now, I make mine because I'm a little bougie when I'm the one tending bar. Instead of orange juice, I use apple cider. It is to die for.
Yeah, interesting.
Now, you have to use the right champagne, though. Like, it doesn't matter as much when you're using orange juice and making a regular mimosa, but with apple cider, I find that Prosecco is the best champagne.
Prosecco. I'm afraid I don't know that one. Is it, would you say it's sweet or dry?
Prosecco is supposed to be more sweet. I mean, I'm not big on champagne anyway, but yeah, a sweeter champagne definitely goes better with the apple cider.
Okay. You see, Brussels champagne.
If you prefer drier, though, Brut is the best champagne to use when you're making a mimosa.
By the way,
we have a new friend in this.
I'm back. We've got Amanda's just joined us.
Hey, Amanda.
Amanda.
So,
Hi, Amanda.
someone who unfortunately has to reside in the state where this Marjorie Taylor Greene is.
We now return to our regularly scheduled program.
I did want to actually point out that Prosecco isn't actually champagne, but and speaking of cat piss, I'm having Heineken.
Can I make a disclaimer, please? Most who know me know this. I've said it a million times before. I currently reside in Georgia, but I'm not from here. So please keep that in mind. I am a Connecticut girl.
The fact that you live here makes me pity you. I'm so sorry.
And mimosa does sound an awful lot like a Bucks Fizz, actually, Nerdy. You are right.
Right. Wacky World of Twitter, brought to you today by mimosas.
Okay.
Mimosas, red wine, and cat piss.
Amanda.
Georgia actually voted for Joe Biden, didn't they?
Amanda.
Yep.
Yes, this time.
Could you talk to us about Marjorie's congressional district? What's it like?
It's not mine. It's pretty rural. To be honest with you, and I feel a little disappointed in myself. I had no idea who she was before. It wasn't until literally the night of November 3rd that I learned she was a QAnon supporter. I mean, again, I didn't have a chance to vote for her because she's not my district, but I still feel like I should have known. It's a place where there are vast differences between the rural areas and the urban areas of my state. You find that a lot in southern states.
It's in Pennsylvania too.
Yeah,
and Minnesota.
Places like Atlanta, but this is and that's something that's always been. But as for it's really made a huge difference lately. The Republicans have done a fucking number on our in terms of voter suppression and gerrymandering. They have gone to great lengths in order to suppress the minority voter population. And before this election, now they're actually making it even harder since the election. Because we're still, even though we were technically blue this time around, we voted into both our congressmen are now liberals, and obviously we voted for Biden. But the Republicans still run this state; they're still the ones in power. So it's kind of an uphill battle,
Bible, don't they?
Yeah. We have Stacey Abrams to thank for a little bit of change here.
I will point out I've got a couple of extra slots in here today because good old Uncle Dave has kindly lent me his StreamYard to this stream, so
Dave is good like that.
yeah.
So I'm sorry to crash in on your little party here.
StreamYard free, by the way, because I'm thinking of starting to stream on my own channel. I've got one topic in particular that I want to kind of touch on. But
it is, but the free version you can only have 6 guests, and you only get like 20 hours either a week or a month. I think
that's the main reason with me. I'm at about like 19 hours, and it doesn't reset until tomorrow. So
yeah.
Okay. So it was either this or use Restream. But good, as I said, good Dave. Like this man just said, Dave is very good like that.
My PC is doing shenanigans. I just have to jump out for 5 minutes or so and restart.
Yeah. Okay, don't. Cool.
Just so you know, I'll be back.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Right. Should we get back to the?
Yeah. Let's get back to the fun.
Hold on, Ricardo. So you're going to say something?
Yeah, see, just wanted to say something about that last tweet where she talked about the American First thing. As far as I remember reading about it in 3 times in history. So American First was used by Thomas Jefferson back in the early 1800s when he was discussing the Embargo Act. I don't remember exact dates here. It's also not my history, but I remember reading about that, and also James Madison. When he was also discussing the Non-Intercourse Act, and then later on by the American First Committee, that was already after the First World War. So it's been used. It's been used to try and promote the Americans to roll up and as a nationalist cry. But I think that this new GOP is taking it into a completely different route than it was intended to.
Well, honestly, the idea of America First is bad. It's not just bad morally or whatever. It's bad economically. It's bad for a variety of reasons. Yeah. It doesn't, I don't know if they're aware of the fact that by making ourselves first and therefore avoiding the rest of the world, in terms of economic, in terms of progression of any kind of sort, they're shooting themselves in the foot. I don't know if the GOP actually knows this. I'm thinking they probably do, but they know that their base is dumb enough to hear America First and love it. So
the hard thing about it is they never, any given politician that's using the phrase, they don't explain if they're talking about it in terms of this is an observation or this is a goal.
All right. Okay. I found another. I found one more. Where was it? I did find one here, but this isn't a tweet. This is a goddamn essay she's done here. Now, do people want to go through all of this or not?
Hello, Ox. I see you in the chat.
Okay. I'm focused on building an American free market economy, protecting free speech, allowing businesses with the highest creativity and best end user experience to compete, driving prices low, quality service high, putting America first. We're going to get a lot of America first. We must end. I love this statement. I love this statement here. We must end corporate communism.
Quiet. I can't hear. It's too small to read and I can't hear it. Stop talking over each other.
We must end corporate communism. The Silicon Valley cartel controlling social media, free speech, and even targeting to take down rising competition like Parler must be stopped. The way to stop it is free. I don't know if I can go on with this fucking bit much longer. Corporate communism.
Having trouble there. Take a minute, breathe.
Oh, okay. Let's just,
in through the nose, out through the mouth.
Okay.
Well, and again, she shows her gross ignorance on even the simplest definitions. That the woman is just completely uneducated.
Well, fun fact: Parler's back. It's just host. Yeah, but it's now hosted on Russian servers.
No shit. Are you
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Russian
Are you
servers, but there was no
serious?
collusion.
Nice?
And they don't. Nothing's ever been done to Gab either, which is another blooming site full of far right lunatics. Although I do believe a certain Badger has decided to go trolling in there, as he might have hinted yesterday. So
Yeah, I wouldn't. I aside from the fact that it's just a toxic, fucking disgusting place, I don't really want the FBI like watching everything I do. So
It's like I want to go there, but I like my brain cells.
mhm.
It's like I would have to be really, really drunk and in the mood to troll somebody, just here for it. Like I'd have to be at work. I'd have to be at work with 8 hours to kill and just go on there and be like, "You're all stupid," and just go off. But at the same time, like you bring up a good point. I don't need the FBI or the Secret Service at my door.
Yeah.
You know what I'd really like to go to
Don't my
Russia
wine.
for? Absolutely nothing. I have no desire to go there. It's just an awful nation. It's people are very nasty, a lot of them. I've known many Russian immigrants, and I can't say that I'm in love with any of them except for about 2 or 3 of them who I love dearly.
I knew a Russian immigrant. He's about as intelligent as your average QAnon supporter. You did see the screenshots. It was the guy I shared these screenshots like a while ago. The guy who thought you could secure an ATV in the back of a truck by looping the strap through the rim of the wheel of the truck. So
What?
that helped me now.
okay, I've got one here now. Let's have a little look at this. She's retweeted something of Sean Hannity's here, but about one, like, it looks like 1 week after Trump leaves White House, CNN's ratings plummet 44%. Okay, this is why they are making me the new #1 enemy. They have to feed their viewers someone to hate. CNN survives off making hate pay. What a despicable way to make a living, says the woman who's retweeted Breitbart about 3 times already during the stream.
And retweeting Sean Hannity, whose show is about nothing else than spreading hate about people who are just the slightest bit, disagree with him.
I was going to say the slightest bit have a brain, but you're phrasing
about the same thing.
Exactly.
It's so funny to me when they don't see when they accuse us of doing exactly what they do, and to extreme degrees. I mean, this is Fox News territory, 100%. Fox News is what it's Murdoch that kind of birthed the OANN, Newsmax, Parler, all of that shit. And she's going to sit here and say our side, that CNN survives off making hate pay. Fox News is literally just about teaching their mass to ignore all other media, hate as much as possible, and be damn scared. That's their job.
Yeah.
The entire concept of flipping language and definitions and using them in a weaponized fashion began with the Reagan administration and was supported very, very strongly by the Gingrich Congress, Newt Gingrich Congress. A guy by the name of Frank. Oh shit, I'm missing his last name.
Frank shit. That's a bad name.
Lund, something like that. I'm sorry, I just can't remember.
Also,
was the lexicon god, and he could take any concept and twist it around 180 degrees, and make people believe it. It's like in the Bush administration when they had the Clear Skies Initiative, which consisted of blowing the tops off of mountains, and stuff like this. It was just unbelievable to live through and watch happen, and everybody just stood there passively and, oh, okay, that means that now, okay, and that's why suddenly they could call call a communist a fascist when it's a complete opposite, and they have nothing to do with each other. It's just so infuriating. People let it ride.
But
Also,
I think
Marjorie, CNN isn't making you an enemy. You opened your dumb whore mouth and you made yourself a target, and the piper it's come time to pay the piper.
I've got to say, Rick, since you've been doing these Twitter streams of me, we're definitely seeing the other side of you come out here. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Believe me.
And you mentioned she was a political whore, right?
Greene is the puppy god, but he can bite when he needs to.
God slash goddess now. Okay.
Yes.
It's a gender thing. I'm sorry.
Puppy deity. The puppy deity.
The puppy deity.
I call myself a god if I were one. But anyway, you know what I mean.
I like the concept.
Well, you are the Manda, so you know.
Exactly.
Okay, now it looks like this previous weekend. This tweet now, because I think this is Super Bowl stuff now. Shutdowns have ruined so many enjoyable things in life, like going to a game. Rules like no cheering and don't go to the bathroom are absurd, but the cardboard cutout fans are the biggest insult. Basically, this could be you, but it's not because COVID-19. Hashtag reopen. Hashtag freedom.
Oh,
you dumb
cunt.
Thank you. Yeah. I wasn't going to say it, but fair enough. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing, and now I've been drinking, so it makes it worse. I tend to say what everyone else is usually thinking. That's I have no filter and no fucks to give. The other thing is, I don't think she realizes she wants to talk about freedom. Okay, your freedom to breathe COVID everywhere, that ends at everybody else's airways and our right to not get sick and possibly die.
It should end at her mask, but, she's an anti-masker bitch.
Okay, can I ask a question? Was there some sort of controversial advert in the Super Bowl this year?
I didn't watch it.
I know. Right winger.
There was a Jeep one that I think is being played on YouTube.
Bruce Springsteen. That was the Bruce Springsteen ad, which has now been pulled because of his drunk driving charge.
Wait, what?
Okay,
he was charged with drunk driving.
There's
something like with a piano and a water or something.
Okay, no, that's not the one I'm thinking of.
Jessica Long. Okay.
There's a Danish tongue breaker involving Bruce Springsteen. If you want to know.
Hold on, there was a video of her groping a cutout of Trump.
Whoa.
Not sure if I want to see.
What? There's a video of her groping a cardboard cutout of Trump. What?
I need to see that. Like that is the thing I need to see.
I don't know if need is the right word there.
No, I'm not sure if I want to see that. I'm really not sure.
I used to have a life-size cutout of Kelsey Grammer, but the only groping I did was when my German Shepherd tore it to shreds. She didn't like him. You saw the face and she barked.
Okay, well, here's what she's tweeted.
Well, phrase is not funny, so that helps.
Yeah, here's what she's tweeted. The only reason to watch the Super Bowl was to see this advert. Let us as women choose life and choose adoption, like Jessica Long's mum. The greatest accomplishment we can ever have is being a mother. Hashtag end abortion.
Wow. Oh.
Really? So she's one of those ones that think us women are no good unless we're barefoot and pregnant or in the kitchen. Okay, fuck you, Marjorie.
Women are cattle.
That's what we had last week.
I don't really know if it's worse when, because men say this kind of stuff all the time. How that we should be proud of our ability to do this. It should be the most important thing we ever do. Or if it's worse when women say it. because it's why, she's not a mother, right? So like, you don't know. I'm sorry. Being pregnant, I mean, I love being a mom. My son is the best thing in my life, but being pregnant is not great. It can be
fatal,
deadly. Why? And plus, to have literally become a host for something else for 9 months is 10 months.
Well, she has mom in her Twitter bio.
Oh, well then,
yeah.
I am sorry for those children. Sorry.
And by the way, Dog, I saw what you put in the chat. Yes, I watched it on the BBC as well, so there were no adverts during the Super Bowl. So for us,
I feel what would it be if it were the opposite? What if pro-choice people were like, you should have abortions? Like telling a woman what to do with her body is wrong on the other side, but thinking it from that perspective, it's fucking insane. So why is it not insane for anybody to say you need to, stay pregnant? It's gross. It's gross to me.
It's just what women do with their bodies is between a woman and her doctor. And you're right, being pregnant. I mean, I got a 3-year-old and I still remember labor and delivery like it was yesterday. Worst 9.5 hours of my life.
I almost died in delivery, as did my kid. So like,
exactly. Like it's not who is anybody to demand that you or I or anyone put ourselves at potential risk like that.
But here's how we get abortion, as low as humanly possible.
Education,
comprehensive sex ed, and access to birth control.
I mentioned that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, you can't do that because the only sex education they believe in is every sperm is sacred.
Don't get me started on that one. I'll sing the whole
it's like isn't there like something like hundreds of thousands of individual sperms in the average load? So on the outside, one of them is getting through. Technically, you are still committing genocide every time.
Yep, you are.
Yep, I had to go there.
Well, think of those poor little sperm that get destroyed when you masturbate. They died for nothing except for your pleasure.
Swallowing is cannibalism.
I'll quote Bill Hicks. I'll quote Bill Hicks. I'll quote the late great Bill Hicks. He says, "I've wiped entire civilizations off my chest with a great gym sock."
Oh God. We always collapse into this, don't we?
Dog says 80 million sperm are released with every load. Yeah. So there you go, an entire civilization and then some.
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys feel this is something that she
multiple litter, so they need more?
80 million. That's like, oh goodness.
But
just see.
Anyways,
the strongest survive, best swimmer wins. So I'm gonna say
Amanda was saying something.
Thanks, Rain. Do you guys
like 13 times? That's like 13 times the Nazi genocide. Every time you masturbate. Gentlemen.
Yeah. Okay.
How could we?
Guys, I think Manda's trying to get some again.
Do you think, I mean, probably in this case is true, but a lot of the stuff that's coming out that is very obviously Republican rhetoric, do you think that she necessarily subscribes to all of it, or is she really just leaning into the super Trumpy GOP to keep her base? Because I mean, there's only so many people that are going to be able to keep sticking with her, even in crazy rural
I definitely think there's some attention whoring aspect of that.
Well, the thing is, I think it is sincerely her, because even like before she ran, she was like harassing school shooting victims and calling them actors.
Yeah.
I'd say too that she's one of those who actually believe their own shit.
But I
Jenny wants
wondered.
to say something.
See,
Yes,
now,
Jenny.
bear in mind I'll just say something quickly, Jenny, and I'll let you comment. But I was just to say, I've been noticing going back through this as well. It does seem like she's parroting Donald Trump, like sort of rhetoric an awful lot. But going back through this, I'm not. I mean, I've not come across like any of the QAnon stuff recently. Any of the batshit stuff like that. So maybe she's toning down on that a little bit, but and just like parroting the Trump kind of rhetoric. Sorry, Jenny, what did you want to say?
It doesn't matter, because whether you feel it deep in your heart and soul, or whether you are just spewing forth repetitive sayings and slogans to get votes or to appear to be one thing or over another, you are still doing the same damage to those around you and to your reputation. And so there is no functional difference between whether you believe it or you act it. You're still causing the problem. She is what she is. I don't care if it's a feeling or bullshit. She is that. She's every bit of the hate that she spews.
I mean, she's definitely putting herself out to be. So,
okay, shall we go some more? So we get some more stupid here. After spending decades selling the American people out, the swamp and the fake news want you to believe it after being in office for 35 days that I'm the greatest threat to America. The real reason I'm the greatest threat is that I am one of you and they hate me for it.
well, who do you mean by you, ma'am?
They always.
I'm going to say this. Yeah, there's a brilliant response. There's a brilliant reply to this, actually, that I noticed as well. It says, "You are not one of us, especially if one of us is African American, Latino, Jewish, atheist, agnostic, gay, first generation, liberal, rational, thoughtful, kind, etc. No, you are definitely not one of us."
That's beautiful.
I get the whole idea that
I'll drink to that.
The squeaky wheel tends to get the grease. If you guys know that expression, the MAGA people just seem to be bigger because they're louder. And you have the whole thing like how, Trump had his rallies where Biden was careful and had his, like kind of drive-in theater car things. And like, the fact that less people physically showed up to vote for Biden and some people just did not understand that. But do you guys think that Marjorie is crazy enough to think that the majority of Americans are on her side?
Yes,
I think she probably does.
I think think she may think that only the real Americans are on her side, if that makes sense.
That's right. We're traitors. They're the patriots. They've seriously, I've ruined the word patriot. It means absolutely nothing now because they made it their own.
The word patriot puts a nasty, nasty taste in my mouth now because of how it's been perverted and.
No, we have to stand up and say, no, you are not patriots. You are not patriots. You are not.
Patriotism is country, not president.
A patriot is one who loves their country, not one who tries to destroy it. They are not patriots.
Jenny, can I ask you this before sharing this? Can you take any more transphobic shit right now?
Go ahead.
Okay. This is something she's retweeted. She's retweeted this Babylon B. High school runner not feeling great about her chances against the girl with the beard, and the thing is, she says, "Gee, I wonder why."
You are you really that dumb of a bitch that you don't realize that it's satire?
Yeah, that's why I wanted to share.
I love that though. Mm-hmm. I love when the right wing nuts share satire and they take it as fact. And it's like, oh, you poor sweet summer child, bless your heart.
Could you put that back up, Jeff? I was trying to read it.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Take the opportunity to read the first reply too.
Yes. If you. Oh my God! That first response as well.
No, Ricardo! What are you doing to my
Ricardo?
Okay.
She's not hot.
Yeah, AOC is far hotter than she'll ever be.
I gotta say, yeah.
I'm sorry, but all of those qualifiers, none of them applies to her.
I don't.
Vera Lynn on her last day was way more sexy than Marjorie Taylor Greene could ever dream of becoming.
That's a British national treasure, Dame Vera.
How old was she?
I don't
103.
I don't know if what the original poster said is true. If there's some photograph or story about that they were talking with, if somebody says it was sarcasm, fine, so be it. But if she's serious about that and she thinks it's true, once again, she's just showing her ignorance and complete willful ignorance.
I was going to say, the next one I've got here is a little bit interesting. I'm going to bring this up because this seems about some of the maybe some of the issues going on within the GOP here. The media mob, the Silicon Valley cartel, the dangerous Democrats, and the Rhino Never Trumpers are all pushing the Republican Party to move on and away from President Trump. Mark my words, we will never leave him. All elected Republicans that are against him seal their own fate.
Yeah, maybe they feel possibly being reelected.
I'm not sure if it's about the beer, but whenever you bring up one of these tweets now, there's just so much word salad. It's just cliches and
she's word farming to try to sound smarter. That's what it is.
Conspiracy just bombarding my eardrums, and I just instinctively do away with it.
You know what? I think she's trying to set herself up as like a female Trump.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, because she's doing the Trump nickname thing.
Is she going to have a really tiny dick that looks like a mushroom?
Yeah. Yeah, I bet that's what her clit looks like. I bet it's ugly.
I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
It might be just me.
I was going to say to keep it civil, but then I just realised a few minutes ago I was talking about genocide of my own sperm. So
not going to happen, mate. Not going to happen.
That horse has left the barn, cowboy. You know.
I don't know if it's just me, but not only MTG, but others like Bobert and this new this freshman class of Congress that comes from the GOP. They sound, obviously it is Trump that started the whole thing, but to my ears they sound like when you go out on a pub at 1 a.m. and everyone is drunk and they're starting to talk and slur and making up shit as they go along. Every time that I read their tweets, it sounds like that to me, or in my head, that's the type of discourse that I get from the tweets. I don't know how it is there in the United States, but it looks like she was hopping from bar to bar in some lost shithole in Georgia, meeting all the drunkards and getting their talking points out of them. I don't know if it's true or not.
Well, she's spouting the same. And this is something let's do a database on this. Let's take the speaker and what they say and put them together and let Excel tell us how exact their wording is, because these people do nothing more than parrot each other down to the syllable.
And though I will say one thing, it's going to be fun watching the Republican Party tear itself apart over the next 2 years.
Depends on which one retains the actual electable power.
Okay.
In the end.
Yeah, I think Manda might want to comment on this particular one, the next one. Dems love to say, follow the science, but when it comes to reopening our schools, they're ignoring science and instead doing what they're told by the big Labour union bosses who bankroll their campaigns. Democrats side with big Labour over getting kids back in school.
Okay, first of all, this whole big labor union thing is insane. But I live there since the holidays. The schools in my district have all been closed because it got so bad here. Because there are a lot of politicians that came out and were like, ignore it, ignore the whole stay at home for the holidays. Don't ruin your Christmas because of COVID. Everyone will be fine. And then it fucking blew up in my area. In fact, I have a surgery that I'm supposed to have that is getting delayed because my hospital is full. So no, it's not some kind of fucking labor union or something. In Georgia, for fuck's sake, for them to still not be opening schools, because at least here, I'm not saying it's every town, it's got to be really bad. I am so fucking tired of this argument. My kid has lung disease, okay, and he's not been to school since. He's not physically been to school since March. I won't do that because I've walked in there, to go pick stuff up and talk to teachers and whatnot since COVID. And when school, it almost no one's wearing masks. It's like it's no different. It's fucking dangerous, and it's not just about the kids will be fine. None of the kids die, which isn't true. But regardless of that fact, you're not just exposing the children to the virus. They are carriers. Like, I don't understand why basic fucking science is so goddamn hard. You can go for more than a week having COVID, and some people don't get symptoms at all. We spraying goddamn everybody, and this is stupid. I don't get it.
It's not on the Bible.
Yeah.
Willful ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
It all comes down to that.
It's the same thing. It's fucking politicizing masks. It's the idea of just finding anything that they can to be completely anti-left about. Mm-hmm. And they can feel like, we care about the kids and we know what we're doing. And no, you don't. You don't give a fuck. You care about your rhetoric, and that is it.
And masks are tyranny.
But if they follow science, then how will they own the libs?
Yeah, really.
There's also that thing that they're against schools because schools are the lefties. They're pushing
their indoctrination camp.
Exactly. Then they want kids to go to school. Like, I don't. They kind of don't make sense. Any sense on that.
I like. Kevin Chaos. I like this one. Wearing a mask isn't a political statement; it's an IQ test.
I've seen that one. Classic.
Kevin, you win the chat today for that, that one. You win. You win the chat today.
I think Kevin gets to decide the final rating at the end of it.
Okay.
Just for that comment.
Okay. Let's have a little talk about what may or may not have happened on January the 6th here, as according to Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh, goodness.
If the January 6th organisers were Trump supporters, then why did they attack us when we were objecting to electoral college votes of Joe Biden? The attack ruined our objection that we spent weeks preparing for, which devastated our efforts on behalf of Trump and his voters. Marjorie, did you not see Donald Trump on television inciting them to go down to the fucking Capitol building?
Of course, probably hiding in her office.
Another thing that's interesting here. Now, this is where she's pushing it was actually Antifa that did it. That is kind of what she's writing between the lines, isn't it?
There was definitely some.
And at the same time, she in one of the first tweets that we were looking at in this session, she played down what happened at the Capitol and pictured the BML protests as burning cities down and all that shit. And how does that?
Sorry,
how does that play together? I mean, she's trying to have her cake and eat it now, because she's on one hand saying these were actually BLM protesters or Antifa protesters at the Capitol, but also she's saying that the very same protesters in that way of thinking were burning down cities and were absolutely awful people. So which one is it now?
So first of all, I don't, they continue to do this where you wonder if they really do see how awful they are, and that's why they keep turning it around on us. But I'm not sure if you guys saw, it's this whole, they're really trying hard to push the Antifa are the bad guys thing. If you guys didn't see, Tucker Carlson came out and said that the whole George Floyd thing was a hoax because the cops didn't kill him. He died from a fentanyl overdose.
God.
It's not like you didn't see him literally get
murdered
die
on the air in front of everybody. No. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, it is absolutely disgusting. And the sad thing is that their base believes it. Their base heard it and said, "Oh, well, I know I watched the man have a knee on his neck for 9 fucking minutes and die. But you know what? He's right. I mean, drug addict, his fault. Cops are great. The whole thing, they're trying to set up this theory that everything that we did standing up against or standing up for BLM was all just some kind of political ploy. And I don't know. It's incredibly despicable. And to compare us wanting people, specifically people of color, to stop being killed indiscriminately because the cops are kind of racist dicks in our country, they're going to make sure that we're the bad guys. And it's the MAGA crowd is not just comparable but better. I don't know. It's gross. It's really fucking gross.
I'm not quite sure who had the best reaction. I mean, first of all, wasn't she actually there? Was she actually in the chamber when that thing was going on? Was she taking her
don't know.
That? Yeah.
Wasn't she the one who was texting where?
No, that was
Boebert.
Representative
that was Boebert.
from
Okay.
Colorado.
Laura
okay.
Boebert.
Yeah.
That one needs to go too. We should do one about her next.
She should be
good idea.
Tried, convicted, and executed.
Let me know who that is. Let me know.
Lauren
who that
Boebert.
is.
Lauren Boebert.
Yeah, we should do Boebert next.
Also, I'm gonna do a thing. Scummer.
Yay.
Oh, would you like to be full screen for this?
I'm sharing a screen.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. At Marjorie Taylor Greene, perhaps you would like to educate yourself. And link to my video analyzing the Capitol attack.
Yes. Yes. And,
nice one.
I always say, if anyone has not seen that video by Ring, that is well worth a watch.
Yeah.
That is well worth a watch. And so, just so people know that when Ring was in the military, their part of their job was analyzing intelligence. So
yeah,
Ring knows what they're talking about.
Yes, you can spot lack thereof then.
Yeah.
Okie doke. But I don't know who's had the best reaction so far to the Capitol attack out of all the people we've covered on Twitter. I think it's been Kevin Sorbo, who in the space of 1 hour went from, yeah, we're storming the Capitol, to please be peaceful and don't storm the Capitol, to Antifa and Black Lives Matter storm the Capitol in the space of 1 hour.
Yeah.
So, let me go. Better switch. Let me get the light in here a second. Okay. Should get back to the stupid then.
Yep.
Okay. What's more insane than the article itself and that the New York Times publishes pure #CCP Chinese Communist Party propaganda? China's state-run media would never publish American propaganda, and they wonder why people don't trust the news.
Here's an interesting little factoid, Marjorie. America doesn't have state-run media.
Our Constitution specifically doesn't allow it.
Yeah.
Read the Constitution that you're supposed to be protecting and defending and all of that.
I think she's more or less saying that the New York Times is in the pocket of the Chinese Communist Party. I think is what she's trying to argue.
Oh yeah, Republicans love to claim that we're balls deep in China. Well, China's balls deep in us, really.
Well, I mean, anything to the left of their orange Führer is, might as well be the reincarnation of Stalin.
Wait, sorry.
Yeah. Okie doke. Let's have a look at this one then. When the Democrats want to start acting appropriately and professionally themselves and apologize for their hypocrisy in support of riots, instead of continuing their Trump derangement syndrome temper tantrums, then I'll stop sharing memes on their level.
Let's just stop and remember that the term Trump derangement syndrome, the origin of that actually came from the ridiculous Kool-Aid fueled groupthink coming from Trump supporters, not from Trump critics, whatever. I'm drunk, leave me alone.
Also, says the bitch that thought Sandy Hook was a false flag.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you're going to stage a false flag, no one's going to kill a bunch of little innocent 6-year-olds. So
I'm so sick of them saying, "Oh, they're trying to take your guns. They're trying to take your guns." I hate guns. I wouldn't care if they got rid of the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment clearly needs to be amended itself anyway. But I have never met a Democrat who was like, "Yeah, we need to pass a law and take everybody's guns away." It's not a fucking thing. It's just not.
I'm a Democrat. I just think we should put measures into place so that average Joe the plumber doesn't get shot by some wacko that shouldn't have had a gun in the first place. People talk a bit. I love when I get into Second Amendment discussions with right-wing nut jobs, and they try to talk about, oh, background checks are so bad. The first thing out of my mouth is, okay, why would you fail one?
Well, in countries that have strict gun laws, such as Denmark, I mean, it's absolute anarchy here. Every time I have to go to work, when I'm at the bus station, I just have to duck for all the machine gun covers of bullets just going over my head all the time, or well, actually, maybe not really.
Yeah. I got, well, look, I'll tell you, I've got a whole point, a 2.2 air rifle. I'll fuck up anyone who comes in my house. Yeah. Fuck's sake.
I knew this guy I had met. God, I don't remember how I met him, but somehow this was like a few years ago when I was still on Facebook. I don't know why anybody is now, but he had followed me on Facebook, and I remember there was something that happened where they again thought that the Democrats are going to come take our guns away. So he posted like a picture. He laid out all of his guns in his bed, and it was a lot. Like it was way too many guns for one person to have. But and saying the whole, I try to take my guns away from you now. Like they think, making these kind of threats, like, I'm gonna fucking kill you if you try to take my guns away. Like they're being so badass and so sneaky too, because we'll never figure out that's what they mean. It's insane. It's just absolutely nuts. Nobody wants your guns, but they're, if you're going to act like that, there's a reason that you shouldn't have any. Anyway, sorry, random.
By the way, Manda, can I just say, your mood's not going to improve much on the next tweet I'm about to share.
There's an interesting fact about MTG, though.
Okay, listen. Okay, here. Joe Biden's assault on American workers has entered its 5th decade, on day one of his presidency with the killing of the Keystone Pipeline. Middle-class Joe has always been a figment of the imagination.
Okay. This is quite simple. First of all, from the very beginning, as soon as he shut down the pipeline, the conservatives were coming out with, like, the first one I heard was, he killed, it was over 70,000 jobs. Then it was like 40,000. The actual numbers are 1,000 jobs and 10,000, like, not full time, but people that are union workers that will go in and fix problems with the pipelines. They're not losing their job. They're just using the specific part. They will still have their job everywhere else.
Yeah.
There, are a billion reasons why we fought against the pipeline to begin with. Not only the danger of it, as already has been proven, there's been plenty of leaks, all of it. The fact that there was a lot of issues with sovereign soil in terms of Native Americans, that they had no problem just trouncing all over in order to get this fucking pipeline. I am sorry for the 1,000 people that are no longer with a job because of this, but it's so much more at stake here, and 1,000 jobs. Look at the millions upon millions of jobs that have been lost since COVID started because of Trump's incompetence. It's just anything they can do to say, look, he's screwing over American workers. It's just, it's gross. And
I say Tusk makes a point here, actually, that those job numbers were estimated by the company who owns and runs the pipeline.
Also, the vast majority of those jobs would have been construction jobs, which means it would have been a one and done.
Yeah, exactly.
Would have been what?
Hold on. There are 7 or 8 more jobs created in the green energy market than the oil market every day.
There is so much money to be made in sustainable energy, especially with the decline in the availability of fossil fuels and the public's desire to, want to not kill our planet. But unfortunately, it would be much better. We would be much farther along. Way more people would have jobs if big oil would stop fighting against it. So,
well, I think I told you I still got this old pamphlet from like years ago, which is probably a bit outdated now, but this is from the campaign against climate change. But it was just a short little thing that's putting forward that you could create 1 million jobs right now. And this was around about the time of 2008, 2009 when the recession. That you could create like about 1 million jobs in the UK right now just on tackling climate change, and this was a very modest estimate of measures that could be taken. It's still too much of the blooming like conservatives, So
I'm calling the Bloomin' conservatives from now on. I like that.
So.
No,
Okay.
Oh my God! How much more of this insanity do we
I'll
have
tell you
to
what,
go
I'm gonna
through?
keep this string going for about another 10-15 minutes, to be honest, and then
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because I was gonna say I've been awake for 20 and a half hours now. So
yeah.
I'm getting a bit piggy as well.
I have to leave, so
Peckish.
Oh.
Feel free to pop out whenever you want. Nobody's
Yeah, I
told
just
you
wanted to
anything here.
a moment or two so I could sum up what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I think I'm going to pop out. I'm also getting
I'll tell you what then. Should we just do this one here then, and then we'll call it a day?
Okay.
Well, then we'll do our ratings.
Okay.
Yes. Good idea.
Okay. Last one then. Do House Democrats support Joe Biden's plans to keep schools closed to at least 4 days a week through to the end of April? This is cruel and unusual punishment of children, mothers, and families across Americans. Republicans want the kids back in school. Dems want big Labour boss money.
Oh, fuck her. She want
What?
so does she want more people to fucking die? Does she want more kids to have COVID?
I feel like she's trying to make big labor the right big oil. You know what I mean? Big oil is actually, they are the biggest lobbying group that we have in our country. They're the most detrimental. One of the reasons that I personally think lobbying should be outlawed. But yeah, it feels like she's trying to kind of force this
fucking
new enemy
powerful.
upon us.
How fucking powerful does she think unions are in America?
Unions these days have no power at all.
I know. No, I'm a life. No, people know I'm a lifelong trade unionist. Okay. I've been like steward in my workplace and everything. We do not, and a lot of America did the same thing in the 1980s as Britain did, which was cut the fucking nuts off of the unions.
Yeah,
that's what happened here.
Let me put it this way: Stephen Hawking had more strength in his pinky finger than American unions do.
Yeah.
Well, that's one way.
American unions, I will say, have probably had a. Not say that ours are perfect, but they've definitely had a huge problem with corruption in the past. There's no two ways about that. But to me, it's like, hold on, labor unions there are not only trying to do their job of protecting the teachers' jobs, but actually protecting children as well, and everyone else.
I actually have a question for the Americans. I'm across the pond, so I don't know the reality of it. But what type of school kids is she talking about? Because I remember when I was in school, if I was told that I wouldn't need to go to school, I would be happy.
Yeah,
I didn't want to go to school. It's not that I didn't like school, but if I'm not forced to go there, why making me? So this whole argument that kids wants to go to school, I don't get it.
Can I speak to that, Ricardo?
Yeah, sorry.
I mean, it seems like they wouldn't want to, but sorry, go ahead, Rain.
Oh no, I was trying to point to you.
Okay, yeah, my kid school's not his favorite thing in the world. He hasn't, like I said, he hasn't physically been to school since March. It is really affected his mental health a lot, not being able to socialize at all, let alone be around his friends and stuff. It really is a difference. It is not. The kids are not handling this well. The ones that are, at least a lot of them I know that are forced to stay at home, as much as school sucks and all. Not that ability to be able to socialize and be part of your peer group physically is incredibly hard for teenagers. Really hard than you would even think. My kid would kill to go to school right now.
It's hard. I mean, it's hard enough for adults. Because people know I've been even the short periods where I've been working over the past year. I've been more or less working out of my house. I haven't been actually in my workplace. I haven't seen my work colleagues in almost a year now. let alone a lot of my actual real life friends. I mean, yeah, and there's just days where the sort of the boredom and it just gets to you. It just gets to you, but you also know that you have to do this to stay safe.
Yep.
Never again asked, has Angel been able to connect online with his friends? I mean, he has, and he's had friends over. The only kids that I've allowed to come over are the ones that are also staying at home or what. I've been as careful as I can. For his birthday party, it was the entire day, and I had a couple kids come over at a time. So it wasn't a big group. Like, I'm doing the best I can. He has been able to see kids. It's just it's just being able to be social and be a normal kid, and plus this is good, for us as adults. I love being able to connect with everybody, and it's easy this way, but kids want to go do stuff and hang out, play on their skateboards and go out in the world, and it's not being able to. It's just really hard. Really, really hard.
Yeah, depending on how young they are, they might not understand why they can't.
So,
sorry guys, I'm just saying because I am going to have to try and start bringing this to a close now.
Okay.
But before, I don't know if we want to do the rating things or should we just do some shilling around the room? I think.
Sure thing.
Okay. Ring, what you got coming up?
Well, as always on Saturday, I've got secular D&D, and then this coming Sunday morning, we're talking about Deadpool on Media Musings for Valentine's Day.
I'm looking forward to that. Yes. Yeah. Manda, what you got? Anything coming up? You want to show?
I have a video coming out. Will probably be tomorrow. It might be my favorite video that I've made. And tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, Aaron Lewis and I are hosting a stream about legalizing, normalizing sex workers. So we'll have a few other people, Dave, Atheist Donna, Uhan, Roderick. We'll have a few people on for that. It should be a nice discussion.
I'll probably watch that, but I'm the last person that should be in that stream.
I know, Jeff, you said it. That's fine.
Yeah. But, Hops, you got anything you want to plug coming up?
Nothing planned, I have to admit. Not doing that much at the moment. Unemployed, so there's a limit to how much of these things I'm allowed to do. But I'll definitely pop up in any stream I'm invited to where I find the subject interesting, such as your stream here. So and apart from that, nothing else. But I'll say nothing else, but always remember to drink responsibly, contrary to what I've been doing in this stream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Contrary to what I do on every stream. Ricardo, you got anything you'd like to plug?
No, I've got nothing planned. If something pops up or if I'm getting invited for something, I'll take it. But no, I've got nothing planned.
Okay, cool. Sinise, you got anything you'd like to plug coming up?
I really haven't gotten into content creation or streaming or anything yet. I did mention earlier I am thinking of throwing together a stream on a particularly charged topic that's been weighing heavily on my mind lately, but I have no firm plans for that. I'd have to throw together a panel. But yeah, the only thing I can plug is follow me on Twitter if you enjoy gripes about night shift at hotels and general incendiary political commentary. I'm an asshole, but sometimes I'm funny. And the rest of the time, I'm a mom.
Okay. Cheers. Well, just as for me, Sunday, directly before Media Musings on Ring's channel, myself and Noodle should be doing Asterix and Obelix All at Sea, which we hope is going to be a bit of a light-hearted one after our last Asterix and Obelix stream, which was I still don't know who got more heated between that and myself or Noodle. but so we are looking to restart. We're looking to do that on Sunday. And
Can I
then
interject really quick? Slim showed interest in the show, so in case we don't figure this out before it ends, go through Jeff if you can't get a hold of me, but you're welcome to join.
Just if you're gonna do that though, Slim, you might just do it sort of fairly early on because I tend to crash out otherwise. So
I just mean if he can't get a hold of me to text you.
Yeah.
So Jeff's one of my best friends. You can always get a hold of me.
yeah, sure. Yeah, Slim would be awesome to talk to on that as well.
You're very welcome. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Just wanted.
Yeah, no. I'm glad you spotted that actually. Other than that, then obviously after that, probably almost certainly going to be on Ring Stream afterwards as well. Media Musings. If you're not subscribed to One Ring yet, please go give them a subscription because we want to get Ring to 200 because there's apparently embarrassing stories coming when they get there.
Yep.
So
I like embarrassing.
So what are we now, like 29 or so away? Last checked, but
let's see. It's back to 30.
Darn. See this. See, this is it. You hit these little milestones or whatever, then it puts you back. So, like, I went through. I went through 300 subscribers on about 4 occasions. So, okay. Well, thanks for everyone who joined us. Thanks to Signees, Ricardo, Hopswatch, Amanda, Ring, and Jenny, who's had to pop out. But thanks very much for joining us. It's been the wacky world of Marjorie Taylor Greene's Twitter.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure who's going to be next. Is that person you mentioned a little while ago, or possibly David Silverman? I don't know who yet. So anyway,
I don't know, man. I'm saying Lauren Boebert. I'm telling you.
We'll see what people think. Anyway,
Silverman.
see you guys later. All right, salute.
Cheers.
See you all later.